One afternoon, I went to an exhibition. It was Chris Jordan and Manuel Maqueda presenting these fascinating pictures of baby albatross that have died after the injection of plastic. After the talk, we had the opportunity to talk with Manuel Maqueda and Chris Jordan, and they were telling us how they were creating this organization in order to convince people that recycling was not the solution for plastic pollution, but people had to refuse plastic and change their consumption habits.
These pictures have become the poster child of the anti-plastic pollution movement, influencing the way thousands of people think and feel about plastic pollution. These pictures work because people feel a visceral connection to the objects in the photo. The lighter, the bottled water top, and other things are objects of our everyday consumption. The pictures also show beautiful birds unwittingly feeding their chicks something which will kill them. The pictures of the dead albatross chicks are symbols of the hidden dangers of plastic pollution. They connect our daily activities with killing birds, causing us to feel guilt, and they also warn us that we are killing our own children by polluting their world with plastics.
These pictures are very important for us. They are the focus of our work. We are studying an NPO, a non-profit organization, an organization which was instrumental not only in the diffusion of those pictures, but also in the production, in the conceptualization, in the materialization of those pictures.
Refusing plastic, it's an example of radical social change. We investigated this radical social change and we saw that it was very difficult to convince people just with numbers or with economic rational arguments. What was moving people were emotions.
It is not enough to show a shocking picture, such as the albatross picture we studied. Evoking moral shock can be counterproductive if people feel overwhelmed and disengage. To manage social change effectively requires emotion-symbolic work.
Emotion-symbolic work is a transformation of the negative emotion provoked by shocking images into the positive emotional energy necessary for the enactment of change.
When activists they feel guilty, they feel blame, they sometimes avoid that blame, that guilt, and that means inaction.
By observing what the founders of the social movement organization were doing, we were able to come across with this construct of emotion-symbolic work.
Emotion-symbolic work is basically trying to transform the moral shock into the moral shock that activists feel when they are confronted to the visual, into emotional energy, in something that drives you to action.
Emotional symbolic work includes 3 key activities: using the picture or symbol to connect the viewer with the cause, using the symbol to connect the viewer with the collective identity, and using the symbol to connect the viewer with the organization promoting the change.
They were able to transform this negative emotion, first created by the picture, into what we call positive emotional energy, and is this necessity, this reaction of willing to enact change.
People must believe that the organization promoting the change is trustworthy and an effective leader, and that by connecting themselves to the cause, the movement and the organization, they are helping to prevent the problems represented by the tragedy of the albatross.
They also use the symbol to create a feeling of community. We are the community who cares about this animal suffering. And this feeling of belonging, this feeling of community is in a way healing the guilt for being responsible of the destiny, of the death of those albatross.
Yet these intense negative emotions must be converted to positive emotions. Change agents do that by convincing people that there is hope if they join a community of people that are working together to fight the problem, the vanguard of a movement.
They were making people feel part of a group, of a social movement that will, with their efforts, transform things.
It's driving people to action is this kind of complex emotional construct, including identity, including morality, and including excitement as well.
Emotion-symbolic work is a very powerful tool for social influence, which can be used to make people enact a difficult cause.
The founders of the organization we studied, by connecting themselves so directly to the picture, built a position of power which enabled them to normalize and naturalize certain values and practices so that people discipline themselves.
Emotional energy is a moral emotion. It is related to the feeling of doing the right thing. Refusing plastic is good, and you can feel that. Or not refusing plastic is the wrong behavior, and you can feel that as well.
New research is needed. For example, how organizations can control the process of emotion-symbolic work, how emotion-symbolic work can be sustained on time, but also it's important to understand what are the dark sides of emotion-symbolic work and its implications.
We feel that emotion-symbolic work is a powerful tool that can be used broadly in other social change initiatives and also in all sorts of organizations where resistance to change is often a problem.
One of the strengths of our work is studying both the online and the offline community. The offline community definitely gives us context to understand what is going on in social media, in the online data, and I think that is very important. I mean, to really grasp what is going on online, you have to understand the context offline.
We hope that our work opens a path to new and impactful research and provides a bridge to practice, particularly for those attacking difficult social problems like climate change and plastic pollution.
Because of the film, because of the pictures, because of the conversations that they had in social media like Facebook and Instagram, they have convinced hundreds of thousands of people that they should refuse plastic and live without plastic.